Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful, amazing tea people. And as you can see right here, I've got box upon box upon box of competition style honey fragrance black tea. Now, how high should I? Here, what? I'll put it this high. I'll put it this high, higher than me, sitting down, so you can see it here. And so this is all of. Well, this is not all of them, but this is some of them. And it's kind of an experiment for me, right? So this is going to be released on Sunday. I'm going to release them in 3 different ways. There's going to be these guys here. This is 75 grams of tea, so that'll be released as 75 grams of tea. There'll be boxes released, sort of boxes like this, as you can see. In here is 2 of these. We'll open up one of these in a second, and we'll drink it, and we'll talk about it. But this will be released on Sunday. And so you'll be able to buy one of these unopened boxes. And you can see here, there's the stamps on them, right? So you got a stamp, and it's the bronze, right? This is the 3rd. There you go. The bronze award, the 3rd one. And you've got the picture of the person drinking tea here. And so you're looking at all of these things, and this is an experiment. And it's an experiment because usually I get these teas. If I get these types of teas, I get them before they win. And I know for a fact that I have teas on the site all the time that if they were actually put into competitions, they would win everything. They would be number 1. And the reason that oftentimes doesn't happen is because 2 things. 1, I buy them, and 2, usually I buy them because the amount is too small. So you need usually about anyways between 6 and 10 kilograms of tea in a batch, and they all have to be uniform batch to put it into the competition. And so if I'm not doing that, right? If there's not enough of that tea, then it doesn't work, right? You can't do it. But what are we going to do right now? We're going to drink some. We're going to drink some of this beautiful, amazing tea. And here, I'll do the whole thing. So I'll open this up in a second, but I want to drink some of this tea because I had some of it yesterday just fast, and I was like, oh my God, I got to sit down and enjoy this tea because it's a beautiful, beautiful tea. But this is the thing. Now, if you get this tea, you can see right here, there's a sticker on it. And this one's obviously already been broken, but there's a little sticker there, and it's like a special, like a special security sticker, right? It's a special security sticker. And what you do is you go like this. You go, and there's a noise, right? Let's see. Right? There's a noise, and it breaks. And then you go like this. See if you can hear it here. Right, and then you get your tea inside. So that's the whole reason that people do it is the breaking of the seal type stuff and all of that. We'll open this up in a second, and you'll be able to see what it's inside. But like I said, I just want to start drinking this tea. This will be released on Sunday with the Chi Lai Shan Snow Pick Tea. So that's the only Snow Pick tea we're going to get this year. But there's a Chi Lai Shan Snow Pick Tea. And the 2 different tea balls. So there will be the 2 different tea balls. I'll probably do a live stream about that tomorrow as well. But there will be the 2 different tea balls. The black tea and the... Wow, it's just so beautiful. Let's see. Here, put it on the spoon here so you can take a look. But this is, you can sort of see what the tea actually looks like here. You can see it's just beautiful. It's got golden threads and all these different types of things. Now, golden threads doesn't mean that it is the best, right? Golden threads doesn't mean it's the best, but if it has golden threads, then chances are it's more likely to be good if it has the golden threads. It's like so many things with tea, right? Hand-picked, organic, small batch, blah, 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 doesn't mean it's the best. But if you're going to get the best, chances are it's going to be those. It's going to have those things. Okay. So I have I brewed this water, or brewed the water. I warmed up the water. I boiled the water a little while ago, and so what we're looking at here, you don't want to be using boiling water with this tea. You really don't. You want to be using off the boil. Like anywhere from 85 to 95. People like me, I don't jump into these things, and I don't do the whole like I'm an evaluator. I'm not a I My point for drinking the teas is evaluation, not so much enjoying. Whereas in general, but today it's actually to enjoy. You can see how I'm brewing it here. This is actually, it was an experiment. This right here, but this is Hualien clay. This is a Hualien clay Gaiwan that there was only a couple made, and I got one of them. But I'm here to enjoy. Now, when we're looking at this stuff, that stack, yeah, that's it. But each one of these, remember, somebody's admiring my stack. My stack. Are we talking about crypto? Anyways, if anybody got the Jupiter airdrop today, I hope you are enjoying your steak dinner. Talking about crypto, but here you can see this. This is, this is only 150 grams. Right? This is only 150 grams. So I put the stack up here like this, but this is, 300, 600, 900. This isn't even a kilogram of tea. This isn't even a kilogram of tea, but it's competition tea, which means that, means it's special. Means it's special. Now, when you're looking at the competition teas, you're looking at teas that have been extra special taken care of. When I say extra special taken care of, they're picked like just at the top. When this opens up, I'll show you what the picks are like. And you're looking at somebody who went through this and did an amazing job of just taking care, right? Taking care. Looks like 500 grams per box. Yes, it's not. It's 275. We'll open up one in a second here. Got my package and haven't tried love the Louis Mutza Tieguanin as well as the charcoal. Awesome. I'm so glad it got to you safe and sound. And again, thank you very much for the support. And this too, I'm so happy now. It's actually doing the thing where when people show up, I can actually see the comments. So I don't know what happened before. Maybe I updated the app or something. Anyways, let's drink some of this. And honey fragrance black tea it's so beautiful. The good stuff is so beautiful. And it is somewhere between a black tea, somewhere between an Oriental beauty. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're Lao Shi teacher. Hello, how's it going? And it's like, now this is the first steep. It hasn't fully opened up yet, but there is the honey sweetness, and just overall, you just taste it and you just go, wow. Like that's just what's happening. There's no, you're not like, oh, what is that? You're just like, wow, that's some good tea. Now, like I said, this is the third place tea. The difference between the third place tea and the first place tea and the second place tea and the winner of the show and all that stuff, pretty subjective. When you're getting up into, your Pareto distribution, as you go up and go up and go up, you're about the third Pareto distribution when you're getting to the competition teas. And it's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful tea. It's just beautiful, beautiful tea. That's what it is. Was the silver winner also a honey black? This was a honey black competition. So how do the competitions work in Taiwan? Well, before it used to be where you could go all over Taiwan and there would be like the best oolong or the best this or the best that. But what happened was the stakes became very high and people cheated. So to give you an example, my buddy here in Reishui, who's like voted as the most handsome tea maker in all of Taiwan. My wife and I joke that every time he's on social media, it's like, what's he selling? Is he selling tea or is he selling clothes? You know, because he's that type of guy, long hair and all that. And he's a master. He's a young guy and he makes amazing tea, like amazing tea. And people would come and rent his tea. So they would come to Rui Shui and they would rent his tea. They would put it into, go up to Taoyuan or Hsinchu or one of these other places. They would take his tea over there. They would enter it into a competition as their tea. And then when they won, they would like basically change the boxes and then they would ship him back his tea. So they would literally rent his tea for competitions. And what happened was, this was so widespread all over the place and all these things happened, that they've really cracked down on the competitions. They haven't cracked down on the competitions in the sense that they don't have them anymore. They crack down on the competitions in the sense that people know. They know, the people in the area that kind of know. They know people's taste. They know the teas. They know that it's not like it's random, right? Like for example, I know my buddy's tea. And if you lined up 10 honey fragrance black teas, I'd be like, oh, this one and this one are his. I'd be able to know what his teas are. And so the people who drink each other's teas in small towns or in even larger places, they know each other's tea. And so what happens now is there's more penalties. And oops, there's my little tea friend. There's more penalties. And so they have, basically they've shut down the tea competitions so that they're only in one place. Right? So the tea competitions are only basically now in one place. And now's the good stuff. Here's the second steep on this. I'm looking forward to this. And so this was, they do it, I think just once a year. They do like in November, they do a big competition in Rui Shui for all the best honey fragrance black teas. And so the ones that are at the top, remember they're at a time, a batch is only like 6 to 10 kilograms at a time. And so it's all really, really high quality tea. All of these competitions, they have a really, really, really high quality tea. But anyways, here we go. And there's the second steep. It's a delicate, beautiful tea. It's got, like the Eastern Beauty, Oriental Beauty, right in the middle between that and a black tea. That's what it is. That's what it is. So there's still competitions for the other teas like oolong. In this area, I don't know if they even have a competition for oolong. I don't think they do, because the only reason, remember, why are they having these competitions? All right, so we're going to open this up next. Why are they having these competitions? It's all marketing. It's all the value add. It's the only reason they have these competitions. If you get a winning tea, you could sell that tea for, if it's a really good tea, you can sell that tea for $200 a kilogram. And then if it wins the competition, you're selling it for $1,000 a kilogram, right? If you get the best, then you can sell it for that much. And so it's sort of like a gambling thing for tea. So the point is, in this area, they're going to have a honey fragrance black tea competition because it is the honey fragrance black tea growing area. Not so much oolong. Their oolong is okay. It's not like the so there's like a beautiful. Okay, come on. What is that? Ripe plum aftertaste on this. I'm talking too much, so I'm not paying attention, but I'll try and see if I can figure out that fruit. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful tea, obviously. Question? Yeah. Throw questions in the chat if you got questions. So here we go. We're going to open it up. So if you get one of these boxes, I'll probably put, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these boxes up for sale. And if you want one of these boxes, I feel like I should be on Chinese TikTok or something like that. I feel like I should be on Chinese TikTok, or one of those. That was something that I thought about doing in the past. The Firefly, the Pear Mountain, mid roast, are there in order you think it is best for taste sampling? Oh, somebody just bought some tea. Thank you very much, Mr. M. It's just like Chinese TikTok. Although this isn't for sale yet. Is there an order you think is best to taste sampling with friends this weekend? That's a great question. That's a great question. Depends on your friends. Depends on how you want to do it. I would say out of those, the Firefly would be sort of the Firefly and the Pear Mountain would be the two best to do. The Firefly is the warm up. It's got the nicest flavors. So, anyways, the question is between the Firefly, the House Roast, and the Pear Mountain is what would be best for guests and mainlanders. So your friends are from the mainland. The Firefly is sort of the crowd pleaser. It's easy to brew and people really enjoy it. It'll get everything going, sort of up and going. The Pear Mountain is the closer. So that's the closer. It's just such a beautiful, like it's just so good. The Pear Mountain is the closer. And then the House Roast, you'd only do that one if they were curious about roasting and if they start asking a bunch of questions about tea. If you're drinking tea with guests, I don't know if you want to go for 4 teas. Depends on that. Depends on your timing as well. But I would say you start with the Firefly because it's sort of like, wow, oh, yum, yum. This is creamy and sweet. And then the Pear Mountain is the closer for sure. And then the House Roast would be whether they're asking a lot of questions. Here we go. So if you get one of these, you can do this yourself. The undressing of the tea box. Yeah. So here we go. And then here, oh, you can see there. It's got the sticker, right? It's got 2 stickers. It's got 2 stickers. And in the past I haven't sold these because I'm not a big marketing guy, and it's one of my Achilles heel. Well, not Achilles heels. It's one of my big problems is I'm not a marketing guy. I don't like marketing. I've never paid for advertising, and I find that the more marketing you do, the more likely you are for people to buy stuff that shouldn't buy it. Right? Not everybody should buy this tea. Right? Not everybody should buy this tea. And so I've let it grown organically. But if I was like that guy, the marketer guy, Jesse's Tea House, right? He's the marketing guy. Like he'd be like, like, whoa, look at that. No. Anyways, it is. You're paying for it. You're paying for it. Now, if you want to pay for it, I do sometimes pay for it too, and it's fun. But just remember, you're paying for it. You're paying extra for it. Just full. I'm shilling my bags, as they say in the crypto space. But you can see here, there's the 2 different things. So we're going to open this up, and once you open it up, you can do a couple things to break the seal on this, right? So this one says the Ruishui Tianhe tea. So that's sort of the name of the area. Well, it's actually Wuhe. I don't know what Tianhe is. Anyways, maybe that's the thing. So you sort of go like that with your finger to break it, and you go like that with your finger to break it, and then you go just like that. You open it up. What they give you is this. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Inside, you can see the box is actually really quite beautiful. It's got a map of the area, the different areas of Taiwan, and it's got a map of this spot. I didn't notice this last time. This is really beautiful. It tells you how to brew it, sort of 85 to 95 degrees, and it gives you sort of this. You have to use like sort of Google Translate or whatever, but this is the tasting wheel, of what you're looking at for these types of things. And So the tasting wheel of it like this. And then inside you've got two of these bad boys. So you've got two of these, as you can see here, and they sort of come out like this. And then you can see they are sealed like that. And then if you you made a Taiwanese IE sound, yeah, I know. I'm much more Taiwanese than I am Canadian at this point. But I do make, so a Taiwanese IE means a Taiwanese auntie. So I made the equivalent of, let's see, if I was, I don't know what would be the equivalent in sort of in Canada, in rural Canada, it'd be like a hoo, 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 like that noise, like, like a, an auntie noise, and an auntie more like a grandmother noise, like, oh, what did I just do? Something like that. That was the equivalent of the noise that I just made. But yes, you can you can see there. But anyway, so that's the that's what it is, and so it comes with the boxes like this. And what I'll say right now, I honestly don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. If you want one of these before then, then let me know. Obviously, I have a limited amount, but if you want one of these before then, let me know, and I'll reserve one for you. But obviously, these ones are going to be sold. I'm going to sell these because I've broken it all open, right? I've broken it all open, and so I can't sell it now. It's like driving a car off the lot, right? The value's way down. I could mess up the box. I could do all sorts of terrible things to it. But yeah. So there you go. So that's that. So that will be released. And you can see here's the third steep. The color of the tea is just like this. And let me give you a tip if you made it this far, and maybe you might get your hands on some of this tea. When it happens, when you drink this tea, let some of it cool down to room temperature. And if you like the cooler teas or like cold brew teas, mind-bendingly good. Mind-bendingly good. Because when you let this stuff cool down, there are some amazing flavors that pop out. Just sort of amazing, sweet, beautiful flavors that pop out. And so definitely, if you get some of this tea, definitely try that out, because it's gorgeous. Price. I haven't done all the math. I think it's $99 for this. So this would be $99 with the shipping. So shipping included. And for me, obviously, it's expensive. It's expensive to get this tea, and it's not cheap. But yeah, so it'd be $99. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I worked it out to be. But $99 for the box, including the shipping, to send it out. But that's the price for this stuff. It can be nice to stack half of each Gong Fu brew into a separate mug and drink at the end of your session cooled down. Yes. Or you can also, what you can do is you can brew 3 or 4 steeps. And then if you're done, you stick it in a big bottle of tea or a big bottle of water, and you stick it in the fridge, and then you drink it again the next day, right? You can leave it for 3 or 4 days in the fridge. I love that. But I'm a spoiled man when it comes to tea, so I don't do that very often. But if I didn't have a warehouse full of quality tea, that's what I would be doing with my tea. If I didn't have this embarrassment of tea riches, that's what I would be doing. If I didn't have a stack of competition tea the size of my head. I found the golden Muza Tieguanyin is better after it's cooled down a bit. Yes, absolutely, it can be, because the more the caramel will come out. Because with that tea, the harder you brew it, there's more likely to be roasty, astringic-y, bitteriness-y type of stuff that comes off of it. And some people really like it. I mean, that's the Muza Tieguanyin style. They really, really love that. But if you let it cool down a little bit, it's caramel. It's literally caramel. Too hot? Not so much. But it is caramel. when you let that tea cool down. So yeah, these will be up for sale on Sunday, along with the Snow Pick Chi Lai Shan and the tea balls. So the Camellia formosensis sinensis teas, and those will be up. And those ones I'll probably sell them. I might sell one full ball, but they'll probably be 25, 50 grams because I don't have very much of it. I think in total I've got maybe a kilogram, less than that, kilogram of those teas. And then for these, like I said, if you really want one of these tea boxes, you really want like a box like this, then get in touch with me. But I'm gonna be selling these. So there's these ones. This will be $99. Pretty sure that's what it was. It might change a little bit. And then there'll be, you can buy one of these, $75 ones, or 75. So those will be, I don't know how much that'll be. If that's 99, then they'll be probably 49. And then I'll also sell the 25. I'll take some apart, right? And I'll make 25 grams as well. So I'll do 25 gram things. And, but again, if you want one of these, let me know ahead of time and I'll reserve it for you. And, yeah, you can jump into the price for this. The price for this, I never would pay the price for this, never. If I was buying it in bulk to sell. I love the quality of this tea, but I would never pay sort of the price. But it's in a pretty box, you know, like, and it went through the competition and won 3rd place. And it's nice. And I'm happy I'm enjoying tea for once. I'm just sitting here enjoying the tea. And, you know, it's one of those things where I know the guy who made it. I know the people who picked it. I don't know exactly which garden it came from, but I'm pretty sure I know where it came from. You know, like I'm pretty sure I know. If I don't know the exact garden, I certainly know within a stone's throw. And, you know, that's kind of special. It is, you know, like to think about it. Like how many times, well, actually for me, basically every day, I know where my food comes from. But, you know, that's when I eat at home. When I eat out, I don't. But it's special, right? It's special to, you know, it's like sort of like a gift. It's like somebody makes clothes for you and you wear the clothes. I just love it. So I just had some 24 cultivar Shan Yun. It's a red oolong precious tea. I was wondering if your indigenous teas are the cultivated variety by the Taiwanese Research and Exchange Station or other non-governmental cultivated Shan Cha. Oh, you just stepped into it, my friend. You're talking to a Shan Cha hipster. I'm sure people have heard this before if you've ever watched these live streams, but there are 3. So you've got Camellia formosensis. Camellia formosensis is an indigenous Taiwanese tea plant. They have done the tests. They've done the studies. It is Taiwanese, Camellia formosensis. There are 3 main populations. There are the southeast. There are the Alishan area ones, and then there's the Liu Gui. So there is the southeast. So here we go. We got the map behind us. We'll take out the pen. Oh, the YouTube people cannot see, but that's okay. So down here, this is the Liu Gui, and then you can see the YouTube people up here. This is the Liu Gui, or sorry, Liu Gui is over here. And then this over here is the Taidong stuff. Then over here is the Alishan stuff. There are 3 distinct and different tasting Shan Chas. Now, as far as I know, I've had it maybe once or twice. The Shan Cha that I have tried is the Alishan Shan Cha. So what they've done is they planted a bunch of different tea trees, and the Alishan Shan Cha, I think the Liu Gui is the best tasting. The Alishan stuff is second, but the trees there don't usually grow too old. And then the stuff in the southeast, That's the stuff that is not the best tasting. And so, in my humble opinion, and so they've done, as far as I could tell from tasting it, the Shansha, that is the one that's number 24, is from the Alishan region. So it's sort of a middling version of it. Now, here's the problem with Shansha. Because it is a wild tree, it is like taking a crab apple and saying, okay, this is the crab apple. Now, crab apples, for people who didn't grow up in southern Ontario, crab apples are small apples like this, like this, and they have beautiful flowers in the spring and like massive petals. Oh, and then the apples themselves are about maybe anywhere from this big to this big to this big to this big. There's all sorts of different versions of crab apples. We always call them crab apples, even if they're the small version or the big version or whatever version it is. We call them crab apples. And, they are sort of, each one is a little bit different. And so when you're looking at the Shanchao and you're looking at the indigenous Camellia formosensis stuff, it's like, which is the one? What the most important thing with it is it grown in the wild, and who's making it? Because you need a level of skill that is just insane to create beautiful Camellia formosensis tea. You need skill, like skill on a level that is just over the top skill. And so what's happened is they've picked one of these crab apples and they've said, okay, this is the Camellia formosensis tea. This is it. And they're planting it mostly in the black tea areas. They're making a black tea out of it. So they plant it in the black tea areas. And so they are just using the same idea and they're just putting them together, and they're like, okay, one day we make Ruby 18, one day we make number 21, one day we make number 24. And they're using the exact same processing to do it. And so what I've seen from that tea is they're not really doing anything special. And I've had that on the site for years, sort of the wild cultivar black tea from Sun Moon Lake area. And it's just not that special. It's expensive and it's not that special. Now, there are people, like, for example, I had it for years and years. It makes me sad that, anyways, they changed the guy. And anyways, up north, they took a bunch of seeds and they planted a bunch of seeds from all over Taiwan in Pingling at this one place up in Pingling. So they planted all these different seeds all over the place up in with the monks in the Shan up in Taipei. And then all these tea plants came up, and oh, sorry, somebody phoned me there. And all these tea plants came up, and they made tea out of all these tea plants, and that was some amazing stuff. That was really, really, really some amazing, spectacular stuff. Really, 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 really good. But they don't really do that anymore. So make some crabapple flower scented tea. If you know how to do it, I will send you the tea, and you can do it, and we'll figure it out. It might be expensive with all the shipping, but there are no crab apples that I know of in Taiwan. Certainly not the same bouquet and blast of whatever that is in Southern Ontario, of all things. They're saying the 24 has notes of mushroom, almond, coffee, kind of interesting. And there is half the caffeine of Jintren and 2 to 3x the amino acids. Now, that sounds like something you would put on the back of one of these, doesn't it? And I don't know whether you want coffee and almonds in your black tea. That's up to you, totally up to you. But that's some marketing, right? Some marketing. The caffeine thing is absolutely true. There is less caffeine in those teas. Less caffeine. I don't know whether it's half of Jintren. It would totally depend on the processing and how you tested it. I highly doubt it's half. I would say 3/4, but whatever. Like, if you're sensitive to tea, or caffeine in tea, it doesn't matter if it's half or zero. You're going to have a bad time. And the amino acids, like define amino acid and then in the tea. Anyways, they're pushing it hard. They're pushing it hard, right? They're pushing it hard, and I'm sure they've got even more. There would be a strong rooted dark flavor that would creates a wild flavor in the mouth, and the wildness, the chachi of the wildness gives you more strength and more amino acids. Uh, anyways, I obviously I'm not a fan of that type of stuff. What is it I always say? It's like people ask me when they say, "Does tea have a does tea have a good what are the health benefits of tea?" And so, I drink green tea for the health benefits. And I always ask, what country in the world has a lot of green tea, a lot of money, and a lot of scientists who could study it? Well, that's why everybody knows about green tea, right? Japan, right? There's good stuff about all the teas. If you get good organic, family run farm processed teas, you are getting health benefits. And they say, well, oolong makes you lose weight, or green tea does this, or antioxidants, or white tea, or blah 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 blah. Like drink what you enjoy and get tea from somebody that you trust, and you're gonna have a good time. Can you tell me the difference in flavor between GABA and regular oolong? Yes, sure. So GABA, and here you go. Here is the exception to the rule, right? So I just said, all the health claims are BS. Here's the exception to the rule. GABA processing. So GABA is not in normal tea, right? So GABA is not in normal tea. Or if it is, it's in a very, very small amount. You do it in a special way, you get the GABA coming in. And the GABA itself, that's a really good question. I don't know whether it's the processing on all the other things that are in the tea or the actual taste of GABA itself. That's a really good question. I don't know that. But when you're doing the GABA processing, in general, it's bringing in a little bit of a sourness. It's bringing in like a raisininess to it. It's bringing in a raisininess, and this is a traditionally processed GABA. Or not traditionally, anyways, most common. I shouldn't say traditional, it's all too new. But you're looking at a darker flavor, somewhere between depends on your taste buds, a raisin or fruit roll-up-y, fruit leathery type of taste, or sweet potatoes, or both. So some people drink it and they go, sweet potato, that's sweet potato water. And I'm just like, can I study your taste buds? Because obviously I get the fruit roll-up or the fruit leathery type of flavor. And this is the darker oxidized stuff. When you're looking at the lighter stuff, you're looking at more of a like a grapey, but just the sourness of the grape. That type of flavor, sort of on the greener side. And then that sort of is how I would describe it. I don't know. Does somebody else have a better way of describing what it means to be GABA? But that's the way I'd sort of describe it. That's why I asked. Yes, well, it's what you put on one of these bad boys. Tart. Yeah, you could go for tart. Although I wouldn't say it's that. It's not that immediate. It's more of a smooth sourness. Missed the start. I get cinnamon spiced apple notes sometimes on the good ones. Absolutely, yeah. So this is all the competition style honey fragrance black tea. Sunday is going to be competition style honey fragrance black tea. The snow pick Chilai Shan and the two different kinds of the Camellia formosensis sinensis tea balls. We've had all of those flavor notes when I brewed it for students. Yes, and there you go. So for students, raisin, sweet, sour, sweet potato, and some kind of sweet root vegetable. Exactly. Right. So when you're looking at the GABA teas, it attacks everybody's taste bud differently. Well, not attacks, impacts, tickles. It tickles everybody's taste buds very, very differently. Same with the sort of the reception to it. Some people they just get chilled out and calm. Other people are like, it's not doing anything. But yeah, so that helps out. That Alishan GABA was good. You gave me a sample last order. I just ordered 50 grams more. Well, the Alishan GABA, actually, that reminds me, I really, really have to phone them up and get some more. But it's the best. It's just the best. They use the gingerin. It's not certified organic, but it's all agrochemical free. It's just in the area that does such an amazing job. Just such an amazing job. And that Alishan GABA blows every other GABA out of the water. Any Asamica GABAs? Well, yeah, of course. The Gapu tea cake, right? The Ruby Gapu tea cake. Technically, well, I don't know. Depends on how you define Asamica, but that's what it is. So here, when you're looking at this tea, take a look at this. Right? So I'm going to put this so I can get both cameras here. There. Can you see that? Right? I mean, look at that. That's the pick. Right? This is the competition pick. So you can imagine you got a whole bowl filled with teas that are picked like this, right? They're picked like that, right? So here I got two different cameras. Anyways, there's a reason it's expensive. I'm interested in the Road GABA and the Golden Dragon Tieguanin, or the Dragon's Eye Charcoal Tieguanin. Both of them are pretty good, although I would say that the Dragon's Eye is probably a little better. But the Road it's a fascinating one. If you like roasted teas, you definitely got to try that one. Best tea to use for making kombucha. Ooh. Maybe somebody else might be able to chime in with the answer to that. Best tea for making kombucha. The Road is a trip. Yes, it is. It's an examiner. It's an examiner, right? It's what do I think about this? That's what that one is. So best tea for making kombucha. You need something that's strong, and you need something that in general, I would say probably the stronger Asamicas. So Ruby 18, those types of teas. If you have red oolong, it works really, really, really well. Kombucha with red oolong is amazing, but you have to use a lot of it. You got to use like a lot of it because it's a lighter tea. The problem with the kombuchas is you need a really strong flavor, and that's oftentimes why they use the soul earth minded body destroying tea bags, unfortunately, because they just need that boom sort of flavor. The Road might make a good one if you added a lot of sugar. I don't know. Should you add a lot of sugar to that? I'm going to try an oolong. If you're going to try an oolong, you got to add a lot of tea. You got to add a lot of tea to the kombucha if you're going to try an oolong, because it gets very, very, very light. And so oftentimes with the kombuchas, people use low quality teas because it's an expense. And if you use the oolongs, the lighter oxidized oolongs, it takes a lot. But I'm sure it would create something really beautiful. Louis Red would be really good, yes. Converter kombucha then. Yes, absolutely. That would work really good. The Road is the bomb. Probably my top 5 of the teas. Probably because it's cold. Top 5, really? Anyways, it's a love it or leave it. It's a love it or leave it. It's unique. It's unique in every way. And if you love that style of tea, it's amazing. But don't give it to beginners unless you're like in a class setting, and you're like, here we go. Let's talk about this. What do you think about this one? Yeah. Anything with strong tannins is best for the SCOBY. Keeps him healthy. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And okay. So it will be a very expensive kombucha. Yes. Well, there you go. It will be. It will be if you're using oolongs, a high mountain oolong. It'll be very expensive, but put it in a box like this, and you can sell it and make mint, make some cash. value add the heck out of it by putting it in a fancy box. But yeah, so there we go. I think we're just about good. I learned to brew kombucha during the beginning of my tea journey, usually for teas I didn't like. Well, yes, it's a great use of teas that didn't hit the spot. No problem. I'm happy to help out. But now that I know I like, so you don't make kombucha anymore. Well, there you go. I in our house we tried to make kombucha, obviously, because we got a lot of tea. But the problem is that it's just like anything else. It's like sourdough, right? You gotta give it energy, and you gotta give it love, and you gotta give it attention, and you gotta be good at what you do. And we just didn't sort of have the time to do it. And so first couple times it was great, and then we were like, can we still drink that? I don't know. Try it. Kind of tastes a little bit like alcohol. Can we? I don't know. I'll just throw it out. And then anyways, kombucha's a fun one. And but anyways, yeah. So here we go. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this tea. I guess somebody just bought some tea, so I'll pack that up and send it out. But anybody who bought tea up until when I started this live stream, it's packed and ready to go. It's going to be in the post office in a couple hours. And make it vinegar if it's too sour. Well, unfortunately, we are past that point. We have no more SCOBY. But who knows? Maybe if somebody gives it to us again in the future, we'll do it. We'll just have to see. So to recap, this is a beautiful competition tea, 3rd place. This will be sold by the box. It will be sold by the 75 grams in the canister right here. And then I'll break open a couple of them like this, and I will do 25 grams of this as well. So if you want to try what a competition, after it goes through the competition style of tea, looks like, feels like, and tastes like, that's what this is. Snow Pick, Chi Lai Shan, and the 2 different varieties, very limited amounts, but the 2 different varieties of the Camellia formosensis sinensis tea balls will be also up for sale on Sunday. And yeah, again, if you want one of these bad boys, if you want to be the breaker opener of the seals, then let me know, and I'll reserve one for you. But everybody, thank you for watching. I certainly hope wherever in what's it called? Oh, the competition Honey Fragrance Black, or the tea balls. I'll probably just call them Camellia formosensis sinensis tea balls, or I don't know what I'll call them. I got to come up with a name. But anyways, they're Camellia formosensis sinensis. It's a big long story. We've talked about the big long story, but basically, they are wild-grown trees in Alishan that were grown from seed, but the seed came off of a Camellia formosensis plant, but they were cross-pollinated with the sinensis variety, with basically a Chin Oolong. And so they're about 50-50, although I would say about 60-40. 60-40, the soul of Taiwan, the formosensis, but then the 40 of sort of the Chinese imported sinensis. And so they're all mixed together. And it's really, I enjoy them. I'm hoping to get a lot more. Website will have it updated on Sunday. Yes. Yeah, DM me if you want any information on that. Yeah, just DM me. And it'll go out the normal time on Sunday. The email will go out, and there will be a limited amount of this and a limited amount of the T-balls, but they'll be going out on Sunday. The chrysanthemum tea flowers are incredible. They are. If you like chrysanthemum, there's nothing better than those tea flowers. They are spectacular. They are. Right now, it's chrysanthemum season in my house, and so we drink it every day with meals and everything else. And it's, I'm sure it's loaded with antioxidants and and vitamins, and it's. I should put that on one of these boxes, the amino acids, and sell it for 5 times the price. But obviously, I'm not going to do that. But if you like that type of stuff, then definitely get some of those. That it's not quite as well. I don't consider it quite as enjoyable as the dragon's eye flowers, but they're both pixie dust, and I really do enjoy them. Lots of vitamin A, yes. Lower blood pressure, A. I can't say it, but if that's what you know, I can't say anything about health benefits, but I'm sure Google probably has something good to say about chrysanthemums, especially organically grown small leaf chrysanthemums from the East Coast, the coastal mountain range on the east coast of Taiwan, grown at 1,000 meters above sea level. Anyways, I got to go. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next live stream.